You have unread mail in your mailbox. That's a lot of moths. Does that mean I now have to go see how much the rest of them are on the broker so I can actually complete the collections? It was a ruse to make me spend money. Oh, for 28 copper, I don't mind. But striped ones, I guess they are the rare ones. Silver, one gold, one gold. Yeah. Cool. That's another two collections to hand in. Do that in a minute. It's in the scholarly essentials. Various jewelry. Right, let's go and hand in those collections.
Hail!
Ew! Should at least probably pick this up. Trucking. 13 out of 95. Oh god. Right. Plonk a couple of things in my house. Howdy, Raven. I got no ducks. I still got no pets. God damn it. Best I could offer you is a quack sound alert. Sorry. Not this way. It's forwards, backwards, forwards. Because I can send maybe always moths back to Howdy acid. Oh, I'm chopping down a tree. That's a nice easy level. And then while we're on our way back round to the other side of the zone, I can grab a couple of bushes. Right, what level are we now? We got to 19, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Right. 19, true. Looking for grip. No, that's a 6, not a 9. Try that. There we are. See if anybody is interested. Jesus Christ, how many harvests on this one off bloody node do we have to do? Ow. Run faster! God! So slow. Is that guy like a different colour than the rest of them? That's weird. Alice Mount Twen? Indeed. Loads. Ages away. I'm only like halfway through the zone. But I actually don't know if it'll make any difference. Maybe with any luck we'll end up hitting 30 before we finish off the quests in the zone. Yeah, I got silos, yeah. So what's that, 24 by default, yeah. I mean, I'm running like 44%. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not. The character isn't slow, like compared with everybody else, maybe. Just.
Well met.
Just compared with the speed we were up to at the end of Kaladin, plus the time I've spent on live. How's the Varsoon population? Yeah, pretty much as Raven said. We're only sort of 2.5-ish days into the server, so the population is excellent. Loads, many, all of the peoples. Most populated server in the game currently. Probably by a country mile. Easily, yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yes, yeah, you do need to be subbed for it. It's a membership only one. That's how they sucker you in. To be fair, I mean, I think that's pretty standard across literally any game doing this type of special rule set server, I suppose. Yeah, this will keep us busy for a couple of years. No problem. know, I'm sure that was grey just a second ago. Yeah, I mean, I reckon, you know, somewhere between 2 and 2.5 years, I would assume, based on previous servers. Unless, of course, they manage to mess up the itemization or balance of one of the earlier expansions, and then it might not last quite so long. I don't know. We'll see. No, Skeleton Lore and Legend. Right, that's that crap done. Just looking through the looking for group channel. There's actually quite a few higher level people looking for group, more so than the lower level, which is interesting. Uh, Caladim experience tells me that Friday evening is always going to be quieter anyway. Caladim was always quieter for grouping on the Friday. Unless I'm around here killing these anyway. Are there any shinies? No. I reckon someone's already been around here. Scooped them all up, took them away with them. Oh, I see one. Guild DKP? Cut in half, I think, technically. Not completely reset to 0. Yoink! That was worth it. I'll take that. My shiny sense is tingling again. These buggers doing the interesting stuff. Heritage quests and the icy digs and all that sort of crap. Dragon language. Oh, so far behind. Yes, I've got to remember to do the old boat semi-complete thing again on this server. I think I technically did the Thundering Steps one last time. Even better, I suppose, if you're doing it in a group with a druid or a druid and a sorcerer, I guess, if you can. That's not bad, 2 hours really, is it? Start to finish, blimey. It's one of those things you know it's going to take a while, but you need to get it done. It's so bloody useful, so many things need it. And then once you get it done once, it's just going to be quicker the next time around, isn't it? So.
Hello.
To be honest, if you're doing it in a group, I don't mind the running around so much. It's usually the get your ass down to the bloody Nagafan that's the real pain in the ass. And of course, that bit doesn't get any easier with ults either. Are we there for shards? Oh no, we got one more to get there. Scuffed divination. Oh, I need two of those. Two scuffed divinations, and then I'm done. Nice. I guess that's the rare one then. Rich diddy bruddy brother. You say so. One safe full. 20 out of 95. Let's go. What does the actual bag look like? Oh, it does actually have a little goblin in it. Can't remember how do you turn that on? Oh, there we are. You hear random goblin sounds. It's the one hiding in my bag. It's like a little gremlin. Don't feed it after midnight or whatever. Yeah, item for all sorts of language. Yes, you do. For the dragon language, you do. Yeah. When you do it for the very first time, you get a little tablet, which is heirloom. Yep. So, as Raven said, if you have an alt that's on the part of the quest where you have to run around the world collecting all the runes, you just examine the tablet on that alt, and that's it. Basically auto completes that step. So you don't need to run around the world again. Which is super useful. And the only weird thing is I think every alt you complete it on, you also get another tablet. So you end up with like hundreds of the tablets. That's a bit weird. I'm sure once upon a time you used to be able to stick them in your house, but when I did that once on an alt on Kaladin, it was just a normal item that went in your bags. It didn't. There was no house appearance version of it, which I'm sure is a change in functionality at some point. Yeah, because I definitely had it. Used to have it on the wall of my Templars house back on live. Used to have it hanging above my door because I remember it had a slight glow to it, like a glowy sparkle. Rich baby bobby bobby. Come on. I think all I need is like one bloody language item. None of these buggers want to give it to me. Nope, that's an orc tooth. I mean, I do need that. That's a pouch of dirt. Okay. Cool. Done. Wow. There are currently 10 Frostfang Seas. It's not bad. Gotta go quickly steal me some basilisk eggs. This rate, I'm going to be a 20 Troub looking for a group before I find a group. God damn it. To be fair, it did take a little while yesterday. Well, I think it took like 45 minutes. Something like that. 45 minutes to an hour before I found my group. Kind of at that weird level, I suppose, where quite high for some of the zones. You know, your Black Barrows, Wailing Caves, that type of thing, but then maybe a bit low for some of the more interesting places like Fallen Gate and Stormhold. It is a shame the looking for group tool doesn't work better or get used more. Because theoretically, a system like that would be a quick way to just throw together a group. I suppose so. I mean, someone who is interested in putting together a group could just go in there and go, I want to put together a group of people between levels 19 and 24. I am this class. I'm looking for this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Go. And the system just goes, here's all the people that are looking for group. Throw a random of them, a random bunch of them into a group. Done. Boom, 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 boom.
Well met.
Bloody hell, I've got to go out to that freaking island once more. Alright. Get that done, because then that's the last one where I need to go out to that island. Salty Loams. That is what? Want to buy 10 potion of crafting progress, 1 chrono. What? Personally, I think those progress pots, the only time I ever really felt like they were actually worth it was leveling up a provisioner. Oh, don't get me wrong, I mean, they do turn it any trade skilling into somewhat easy mode, but yeah, like most of the trade skilling professions, I don't mind leveling up because most of the recipes are pretty quick, but it's just the provisional ones specifically are all still large amounts of progress required for each item, so it's by far the most painful. A small chest. Group of 4. Okay. I suppose they're only green. Better let my old health pool go up first. I'm gonna go rushing in there and just dying to a bunch of green crap. That would be embarrassing. Say so. Ick. Up the stone. Oh! There's 11 Frostfang Seas now. We're going up. Everybody wants to be in Frostfang. That's where all the cool kids are, apparently. Chances of me finding 2 of the 1 collectible I need. Slim to faffle. He says. Looting one of them. Excellent. 1 down, 1 to go. The shiny gods. They heard me. Yeah, that's it. It's all gone. I used it all up. Don't bother doing the lottery. Don't expect to win any loot if I do find any groups. Probably won't find a group all evening now. That's it. Yeah, General's flying by pretty quick, I have to say. For a change, it is actually mostly EQ2 talk. Yesterday was very much every other topic except EQ2. which is fine. I mean, it's general chat. That's kind of what it's for. Someone's comment kind of seems like I should have rolled a tank, always in high demand. Yes, this is why I always tell people when they ask in chat about what class to roll. Look, if you don't mind playing a tank, for the love of God, roll a tank. They will always be in demand, and you will find a group pretty much instantly, I suspect. Throw that in the bank. Throw that in the bank. House. Not so much for raiding. No, that's true. Definitely for well, grouping. Next tavern. Thank you for the follow.
Hello.
Oh, level 20. Now we're rocking. Yes. Now I can say level 20 Troub looking for. Makes all the difference. Level 10 pieces of jewellery replaced with level 20. Ratongas? That's a new one on me. What did we get? Oh, we got another buff. That's one of the occasions, isn't it? Yeah. From then charm? Freaking charm. Might be useful for solo, maybe, if I get myself into a sticky situation of sorts. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so far so good. Text, it's been good fun. Put two. Oh, according to that, I've put 7 hours into the character, or 7.5 hours almost. I don't know where that time's gone. Kind of felt more like about 4 or 5, maybe. There you go. Time flies when you're having fun, apparently. One day, 7 hours. Okay, so you're only an entire day ahead of me. Jesus Christ. Don't mind me just slacking my way. Get there eventually. Sure, mile. Playing on Varsoon. Like, probably just about all of the EQ2 population at the moment. No raid on Monday. I mean, I should bloody well hope not. That's a bit too soon. I might be ready by next Thursday. Rares to go throw in the bank. Your house items to plonk in the house. Bunch of stuff in the bags to sell off. The noises coming from that backpack probably need the frequency of them reduced a little bit so they don't quite go off so often, maybe. The goblin's a bit of a mad nutter. Yeah, I think he does. It's just a bit too frequent, that's all. Just needs toning down slightly. Loading UI resources. Resolved. Bing, bing, bing. Anything actually, I don't know. Got a lot of chipped shards on the broker. There's not always so many of the scuffed ones. So. How much is that? One final shard I need. 8 silver. That's not too bad. I won't buy yet. I've still got a bunch of running around Frostfang to do, so I'll still be picking them up for now. Literally one last shard to buy or to get at some point. Three striped moths. That pesky Diz. He sent over freaking crap ton of moths in the mail. It's all just a ploy for me to spend money on filling out the rest of them. Yeah. Right, back out and back down to what we were doing, but Any Eurocentric guilds with a lot of Europeans recruiting? that's seems like an odd sentence to me. I don't know. Redundancy? Fade Arc Knights. Yeah. It's just the one quest to start with. So. Bunch of Rygor stuff. Gives me another opportunity to hopefully finish the Orc language. I missed the Bard AA that makes the heroic opportunities quicker. Tank for Ruins of Arsoon, level 10 Inquisitor. I'm gonna keep an eye on the looker for group channel, but as you say, it does move pretty quick. Yeah, stupid orcs. Give me something useful. No, not advance the Dormants 2. That's not useful. I can't use that for 9 months or something. Oh, like probably more than that, actually. Ah, an orc eye. Nope, still need a spine. Literally haven't finished a single lore and legend yet. None of these orcs have a spine, apparently. Which I think is probably something we knew anyway. The random house item of doom. So Vibrid. I put on the Lore Legend server last night just to find out there was only one other person on the entire server. Yep, that sounds about right. That kind of server flopped from pretty much day one, to be honest. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think it was executed particularly well. And then once Farsoon came out, that really was just no reason to play on it anymore. Gonna hit 50 today. Not without some dev hack assistance. Slay invading Rygor, green sparkling arrows, glacial imps. Rygors. Can't even find a group. A silver cluster, yes. Ow. Hurrah! Orc language finally bloody finished. That took long enough. "40 Dirge, 44 Fury." We did it! We found the last shard we needed. That's it. Shard's done. No need to pick up shinies out here anymore. Well, except on that island over there. The shinies out there are bone collections rather than shards, so. Jagged Stinger. It's 4 seconds. You should run away. Okay, that should be all the orcs done. Oh, we need one more of those green arrows. Which is ironic, because I just started watching season 4 of Arrow. Which is dubbed Green Arrow. So... while we're over here, we can go up on this hill and kill some glacial imps. See whether the named is up around the corner as well. La da da da. Stab you in the butt. What? Insert random Troub adept book here. Oh, I thought that was the name. No, that's not the name. Oh. Completely forgot there was disco experience here as well, actually. Disco fever! Blobbity blob blob. The inimical slush. Inimical? It's a weird word. Who apparently won't die. Die! Exquisite bracelet. That's not bad. Better than what I am wearing, so I shall take that. I've almost managed to fill in all of the spots, although granted quite a bit of the armour is still like level 10. Actually, no, I think some of the armour is still level 1, to be fair. I think at this stage of the game, most of the gear outside of raiding is really going to come from questing. Like if you're just dungeon crawling to level up, you're probably going to stumble upon very little. What's the gear like from contested names and like permafrost and places like that? Just heroic stuff. Actually, that would be pretty reasonable. That and Soul Eye. Oh yeah, those things that take like what, like 2 minutes or something. It's like one corridor and that's it, done. Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know if I actually ever did Neck 2 on Kaladin because it was just so god awfully terrible from a loot perspective that no one wanted to do it. So by the time I got round to the point of being able to do it, everyone went, nah, I don't want to do that. So I don't think I ever did it. Can't get lost. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Kind of a bit of both, really, I suppose. Some people will be like, oh no, that takes all the adventure out of everything. And then some people are like, yes, good, I don't want to get lost. Unlike Neck 1, where you're just running around in circles sometimes because you've got no idea where you're going. Which bit you should be doing first. And do I need to be careful about going down the wrong corridor and doing things in the wrong order and completely messing up the entire zone? Oh, rocking. Uh, Full Fury, 34 Fury, Runny Eye Group, no. Come on. Oh, another random adept. Actually, is that the... Oh no, it's the group one. One of these orcs must have a freaking spine, surely. How hard can it be? I have failed. Ah! We finally found an orc with the spine. First, lore and legend. Complete. Just from behind. Must be flanking or behind it. Right. What we got left to do over here? Random amounts of orcs. I've got to burn down the tents as well, haven't we? Oops, that was not intentional. Get dead. Right, we need this burning plank. And we should be able to burn down the tents and the orcs along with them. Like so. Why do it invis? Oh, they see through it anyway. Okay, never mind. This rate, we might end up at level 21 before we find a group. Jesus Christ. Told you Friday night is a bad one. Always is. Should probably try pulling that named before burning down this tent, because I think if I burn this tent, it burns the named, which is a bit awkward. Please don't be social. Okay, we're good. Come on, give me some good loot. That's leather armor, that's not good loot. Although, to be honest, considering I'm wearing level 1, it is actually an upgrade, which is kind of disturbing, but there we go. Until we find something better, we'll go with it. Okay, with all those tents down, I can now destroy these weapon things as well. What about that? You can see another shiny from here. Probably I need to say another shaman. Two shinies. Must be Christmas. Lots of shattered bones on this island. What? Sorry, Raven. That was a shattered frog bone, but I need it. Stabby, stabby, stabby. Yoink. Dark Light Defenders talk. Oh. I was almost hoping that was going to be a waste item then for just a second. I was disappointed. A neck piece with the same stats as what I'm already wearing, so no use whatsoever. Right, before we... Oh. It's another shattered frog bone, but I still need that one as well. Let's head back over to the mainland. Three quests to hand in. And then we can go... Actually, we could just go straight up to the Imp Cave and then hand in all requests at once. Probably a better idea. Nope. No PvP at all. Well, technically you could duel someone on one-on-one if you really wanted to, but there's no open world PvP, no. Thank God. I'm not sure the question gets asked quite that much. Maybe? To be fair, there probably has been half a dozen people over the last 2 or 3 days that have asked about whether there's PvP or not, so... Nope. If you want PvP, you must go to Taranax, where there are probably no other players, and you won't PvP at all. The irony. It's old Twiggy! Come on, Twiggy. Twiggy the Defiled. Wait to kill you. To stab you in the bum. And then I'm going to stab you in the face. Magi bracelet. It's not bad, I suppose. Randomly 10 resistances for no reason whatsoever. I'll take it. That's all that crap done in there. Go hand all of those quests in. through the looking for group channel there. It's quite a lot of dirges and troops looking for group. Have we oversaturated the server temporarily with bards?
You should run away.
I say temporarily because I know damn well bards tend to be the flakiest class in terms of playing for the long term. So most people will probably change to another class at some stage. It's still you can find for a group was tanks, healers, and bards, and no DPS, which is surprising considering like the number of necros kicking around and things like that. It's like so I mean they'll get to a point where everyone goes, I don't like playing this class anymore, and then just ends up like rolling a DPS or something. And yeah, I suppose if you're playing a necro, why you don't need to group, do you? So no, I could solo all this content. Who needs to group? I, I'm trying my best to group. It's just there aren't any. What's a man to do? Kind of slows down my progress. There's a Blackborough group there. That's a bit low for me.
You should run away.
Pick up sticks, or in this case, pick up axes. Monster Dormers Volume 2. Again.
You should run
Oh,
away.
balls. You having to avoid grabbing that. Random treasure chest of doom. Right, done. Need to use this random eye in my bags on this orc. It says, maybe. Oh no, do you just right click? Oh, there we go, right click. Wait for random cutscene. I don't think you can skip this, can you? No, you can't. Damn it. I'm pretty sure I ask that literally every time I do the same quest. Yes, I know. There's an underwater cave with a load of orcs. Black screen of doom. Come on. Come on, cutscene. Take me back to the game. Let me play. Come on. I think it's broken. Oh, no, there we go. You are currently not in a broker transaction. Really? You don't say. It's a weird one. I'm not quite sure why that message popped up in my chat window. Yeah. Please go to the broker. Spend your monies. Require concentration, doesn't it? Yeah. There'll come a point where I'm going to have to decide which buffs I do and don't want to run. Yeah, the resist is pretty low down on the priority list. Unless you're playing on a live server where it's completely OP and just like wards all the damages. Oh god. I mean, yay, I got a group. Oh, it's in Fallen Gate and I'm in Frostfang. Oh god. It's gonna take me 10,000 years to get to bloody Fallen Gate. Yeah, I really do. There's no. At this level, there's just no quick way. Unless someone's got like a port kicking around town, maybe it might be worth actually just a quick swing by Kinos. I don't know if anybody's doing ports in like North Kinos or Kinos Harbour or anything these days. Remember the classic North Kinos ports before Stormhold? Not before Stormhold, before Sinking Sands, I mean. I, okay, we're going to have to just do it the long way. No, not Stormhold. Fallen Gate. So I've got to go across Antonica, across Thundering Steps, into Neck Forest, across Neck Forest, into Common Lands. It's kind of hoping for a Druid port into Common Lands would have been like super duper amazing, but I don't really know how I cross Neck. I don't. Let's just say I said I was asking yesterday. I don't really know whether the Griffins are active yet. I would assume not, but I guess we'll find out.
Hello.
No Griffins. Oh, wolves. Okay. So it's the long way then. It really is. Unless you're. Well, I mean, back in 2004, it didn't matter who you were because there were no Druid portals. But these days, unless you're a Druid, or maybe a Sorcerer, it's quite slow and painful. Obviously, the argument is it makes the world feel bigger. It also makes the groups less patient because they don't want to wait for you to fly halfway around the world. Yes, I could stealth if I need to. I try not to because it slows you down even more, like 5% run speed. At least as a bard, I'm running at like 44% at the moment, which is better than nothing. But yes, as you say, back at launch, when there was no griffins at all, not even in Antonica, I think. I'm pretty sure the griffins were added in post-launch. Hopefully, I'm not misremembering. Wow, there's even two Thundering Steps. Considering that's an absolute hellhole of a zone that I'd really rather not spend any time in. Quite surprised there's two of them. It's probably everybody farming giants in the first one, I suspect, for the language and the XP. But yeah, there's not even an NPC up on top of that tower. Gotta go fast. By which I mean 44% go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure even the ones in Antonica needed to be built by the players, and it was a server-wide event. I'm with you on that one. Pretty sure that was the case. There was literally tasks to go out harvesting wood, and then tasks to actually do the crafting, and big percentages that you had to keep checking on various stages to the build, and pretty sure that was a thing. Same with the wizard spires, wasn't it? That was a big server event thing. Wait, why is it called Nectulus and not? Why is it called Nectulus on the bells instead of Nectulus Forest? It is Nectulus Forest, not just Nectulus. I haven't unlocked the forest part. Oh, okay. Let me just double check, make sure there's no NPC up here. No, still no NPC. Okay. There's actually 2 necks on the map in some zones. Oh god. That sounds broken. By the time I actually get into Fallen Gate, I will have run out of time for today's session and have to log off or something. Want to buy Stiletto Spawn? Oh, is that why there's 2 Thundering Steps? I forgot about that. Literally everybody wanting to do the Mana Stone and stupid rat's not running around where he should be. Yeah. Well, when you go on, if you go and make a character on one of the traditional servers and use one of the world bells there, like literally every location in the world is available. That's and then you come over here and you've got like half a dozen options if you're lucky. it does it does feel kind of painful. Yeah, probably. I'll probably get there. The group will be like, "Yeah, I'm sick of dying. We're done. We're finished. See you later." It's okay. The epic isn't up. We're good. Probably quicker to go down here. Really don't go to Fallen Gate very often. That's the entrance, right? Yeah. There you go. We have arrived without incident. Two Fallen Gates. On the plus side, I don't need to actually buff anybody because it's just group buffs, so I'm good to go. Don't mind me just helping my fellow group members. What else we got? Shinies! One must always pick up the shinies. And need on every single one of them, I suspect. Uh-oh. Mr. Briggy! Mr. Briggy! Wizard down! Oh, okay. That was interesting. Probably don't want to pull that many too much. It's only the wizard who died. It's fine. I mean, I was pretty close there at one point. I don't know what the group's doing. Apparently we don't do turning mobs though. That's the only downside. Bonsai! Random Adept of Doom. It's just a silly, it's my silly charm spell. Although it actually helped in that crazy ass fight. I did actually charm one of the mobs. I'm not sure how long it lasted, but I did try. Look, I don't understand Thexian, okay? I'm sorry. I actually don't think I can learn Thexian either. Hey, Ethereum. How's it going? Welcome to Friday. Ah, 21. Snake! So what you're saying is raids could be interesting when we get there. Wow, we wouldn't want it to be boring, would we? Exquisite chest. Oh, it's a bruiser master. Literally the worst possible master ever. Frickin' bruisers. Level 20 dagger though. So I am absolutely going to need on that. I had the channeler one, oh god. Thought they would have fixed that from Fallen Gate. Oh, okay. I mean, the channeler ones are like super useless. Because we're never going to get to the point where channelers actually end up on the server, so... Forgot my level 20 thing. More agility. There's more DPS. If one can say DPS when they're talking about a troop. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. The Mystic was like, yes, some mana regen. I was like, oh god. If you're counting on a true mana regen, you're it could be dire straits. I mean, yes, I have it running, but... nothing else to run, really, at the moment in this place. Yeah, if you're counting on that, you're really definitely in for a bad time. Exquisite chest. Oh, it's a stinky necro. I mean, there'll probably be a lot of people that actually want that, but not in this group. Yoink. Dice roll 100. Yeah, that's going on the broker. I mean, it probably gets replaced about 3 times over, I suspect, by the time you hit 50, but still. Oh, I've got to pick my focus effect. Or focus effect. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. Literally the most pointless choice in the world. I'll get my decomposing zombie organs. Zombies! Brains! Another one! Bloody hell. What's going on here? Suddenly, all the luck in the world. Beast Lord! Oh, Christ. Really? What do we do with that? Can't even transmute it at this point. Sell it for a few gold to some random merchant somewhere. Get back in your bag, Goblin. Apparently the Briggy got bored. Thought he'd do some tanking. You will not prevail. Aha! Zombie brains. Any zombie brains? God, I didn't win zombie brains. Brains. Oh god. It's bad. It's very, very bad. Ooh. Ooh. Lots of Dormers 3. I see a shiny. Oh, hello, Mr. Redman. Level 33. Maybe we'll stay away from that. Oh, don't even get me started on ghosts. Haven't started that lore and legend yet. Die! It's not very nice. What did I ever do to you? I probably should have actually needed on that. Although it was like some piece of crap out of a small chest, it was level 20. Oh well. Both of the other scouts in the group actually needed on it. Why is this Shadow Knight taking such a frickin' beating? To be fair, I haven't inspected him. He could be very much like me and wearing level 1 armor. I find it quite interesting that these are called shopkeepers, yet I don't really see anything that resembles a shop front here, other than a tent. Unless maybe they were selling all these pots at some point, and now the pots are just ruined on the floor. Clearly I'm putting far too much thought into this. I are tank! Because the Shadow Knight is dead. Oh god. Fuck's sake! We're all gonna die! I've got no evac. I'm too young. I'm too young to die. Hey, Grug. Oh no! So close. Pretty sure I lived longer than the actual tank did at that point. I mean, to be fair, it's better geared than me. I can't really poke fun. No summon, there's your problem. I know, right? All them hundreds of necros all off soloing. Not in this group. Where's the damn tank pet when you need one, right? I mean, supposedly we've got DPS though. Got a Briggy and an Assassin. I mean, come on. Got to be some damage output there. And now we have a second healer as well, so that should help things. Keep things a bit more stable. Zerka appears to have the DPS of a soggy paper bag. Conjure tank pet was ripping aggro from the pally. Stupid OP pets. Oh, I forgot to do overseers. Right, I need to get started. So. Oh. Oh. Nice to see collections are still part of the overseer stuff. I just need more overseer agents so I can actually have a decent number of things on the go at once. It's going to take a little while to build back up. There's a group thing you don't see very often. Kenos Sewers looking for members. What? It's madness. Absolute madness. Right, we're just waiting for our 6th member, who is doing the same run as I did, I think. Is in Neg Forest at the moment. There's a half-naked rat there. Tree Spirit. It's a good name for a warden. And on the request of Michael yesterday, I did add some new things to the channel today. Sadly, I don't actually have the pet yet, so the best I could do was a sound alert that's redeemable. Yeah, I think I limited them to 1 per minute and 5 per person per stream, I think. Just so they don't go too mad, but you have 165,000 saved. Oh god. That's a lot of sounds. I didn't really know what sounds to go. The solution I was using, just because I was semi using it anyway, only gives you 5 sounds to use. It's a little bit limited, so I can't go too mad with the choices. I just tried to find some ones that could potentially be used in certain scenarios. Yes, a bit like that. Oh no, we lost the breed. We gained a necro. Huzzah! We're all here. Excellent. Sort of, except the one person who's AFK for another 30 seconds or so. Yay! We're all here. Let's go. Good old Fallen Gate, indeed. It's not a place I personally usually visit very often because most of my characters are Kinos based, so. So for me, it's actually a relatively good change of scenery. Troop tank! I didn't even stop to look at the bloody itemization on that piece of jewellery. Might have actually been good, useful. Really gotta stop dismissing the crap in the chests, because it might actually be useful. Oh, maybe not, I was only level 10. Oh, that was level 20 though. And the need on that one. So did everybody else. It's weird to see like an entire group needing on an item that's just come from a wooden chest. Lord Actanus. Ooh. Maybe he'll drop some fat loot. Probably not. Oh, five people who love the sewers. You'll pay for that one, peon. Exquisite chest. Ring of Darkness. Yes, please. Leggings of Magnet. Yes, please. All of the need. Need. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll take both. Oh god, I feel like a greedy bastard. We're going from level 1 legs to level 20. Place that one. First piece of fabled gear. Does that make me Uber? This is a dead end, isn't it? What? I think people are trying to get through the wall. Pretty sure you can't go through there. We'll go back out and round the other way. They're going that way. It is somewhat nice to be playing a character that we can move around in, and I'm not just stood still like I was with the illusionist in a fight. Insert more random buffs here. What the hell is this? Ah, Aria of Magic, nice. Uh-oh, is that... I'm going to need to drop one of these other random things. That's the defense. power regen. We'll go with something like that. It's three of us rolling on some piece of crap leaf blade thing. Zed, give the follow. No, sorry, I was flipping trying to pay attention to what they were talking about in group while organising my hot bars and paying attention to Twitch chat and trying to cancel, move things around, and yeah, trying to do too much at once. Every piece of gear is an upgrade. I mean, so far, yeah, it's like literally doesn't matter what type of chest it comes out. You need to pay attention to it because it may very well be an upgrade. Shadow Fang. Uh-oh. I think we're losing our tank. That could be devastating to the group. Having never played a mage, you need to join the Conjurer. It was a good choice. Yeah, I think so. I think if you can be somewhat self-sufficient and be wanted for a group as well. Oh, yeah, I think that might be it. Group might be dead unless we can find another tank in a short period of time. I mean, we could have just broken out the bloody Necro tank. Probably would have done us perfectly well at this point. Wait, why am I the leader? How's that happened? Oh boy. Everybody else in the group has just gone AFK and is like, yeah, you do it. Thanks. They're always ruins of Arsoon anyway. I want to say like high 20s, mid to high 20s as a starting point into the probably low 30s, right down the bottom. Yeah, I think so. $26 to 33. Yeah, that's about what I was thinking. Sorry, just thinking ahead a little bit to future levels. Last soon's 35. Oh yeah, that tiny little instance right down the bottom. Far soon, isn't it? Yeah, that zone is a good source of loot usually, isn't it? Especially masters off the last two named in that little one. Two exquisite chests, indeed. Yes. Yeah, you need to kill Varsoon for one, don't you? And then click on the chest in the corner of the room for the other one. Unfortunately, I think we might have to abandon this. Because we're not finding another tank, it would seem. Got pretty much 2 levels from it, I suppose. Could be worse. Kinos Sewers looking for members. Level 1's welcome. And some shiny new legs, indeed. Did get some shiny new legs. We upgraded a piece of level 1 armor with some level 20 fabled. It's not bad. Look terrible, but we don't need to worry about looks, so. Looking for group is a struggle today. I mean, it always is on a Friday. Literally, for the past, 3 years I've been playing on Paladin or whatever. Friday was always the toughest to find any groups. So it's just kind of like business as usual at this point. Yeah, probably just as I'm going to bed, you know. Oh, stupid time zones. Do you know if the TLE server has the same cash shop as the live service? You do need a subscription, but it does have the marketplace as well. I think some of the stuff on the marketplace is limited, though. You can't buy all of the same things. The most controversial one recently is removing the crafting progress pots. You can't buy those. The only way you can get those is the offer, the special offer pop up once a month when you claim your free 500 cash. That's not really an offer at all because you're just not getting any discount on them at all. But they're still available there, so that's the only way you can get them currently. And a lot of the bag options were removed from merchants and stuff to make people or make crafters more useful was the official reason. Go visit your local tailor and they can make stuff for you. Or local carpenter for boxes or whatever it is. Oh, I think this group's falling to pieces. Can't find a tank. The assassin's gone. Down to 4. Yeah, there goes the necro. Want to buy more tanks? See, I told you, literally. Just you want to roll a character, roll a freaking tank, because you'll be needed all the time. No problems. For grouping. Caveats at the end. Disclaimer. You'll be needed for grouping. Fridays are a tanks day off. Yeah, maybe. They're like, no, I've tanked throughout the rest of the week. I'm not tanking on a Friday. I'm playing another character. Bugger it. Right, while I'm here, put a few things in the house. Me house. Putting UI resources, please hold. Random box of doom. And I get to start my lore and legend wall. We'll go over here this time. The old table of books. I think I'm going to stick in Hallis, to be honest. Don't know, we'll see. So, I mean, so far it's okay. Just say we've got crafting stuff over there with a merchant that sells stuff at good prices and for status. Banker, broker. I mean, houses all over here. Obviously, my current house is here, but I'm hoping to. I don't want to take too long, but I want to move into a bigger house. So the one thing that you do have to run outside for is the mender. And I suppose technically the bells. I don't know. I would never live in Corwin. Jesus Christ. Absolutely not. No, thank you. It's bad enough having to run around there occasionally for random quests and stuff. Actually having to live there would be a nightmare. It's just sniffing glue. High on the good stuff. Does that have any basis in from EQ1? I don't. These spinning wheels. Good XP. Trade skill XP, but it's prone to critical failures due to being orange. Goron's on an island that didn't exist in EQ1. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea. Oh no! It's going wrong! Oh, can we claw it back at the end? No. God damn it. Yeah, normally it's not a problem, but like I said, when you just when the recipes are orange or whatever, trade skilling is weird. Like it's completely counterintuitive compared with most things in MMORPG, where it's actually harder at the beginning and it's easier as you get going. Makes no sense. And then you can get well, I suppose technically this is now yellow instead of orange, so it's like a completely different outcome. Almost perfect. End up doing this short crafting timeline. Probably end up being about level 16, I suspect, by the time I finished it. And I've got to get from 16 to 20 on rush orders. Unfortunately, the level 20 to 30 range for crafting is about as terrible as it is for adventuring because there's no butcher block. And therefore, you don't get those quests that are out there. So, like, the only quests to do from 20 to 30 from a trade skilling perspective is the Grandmaster's quest, which is like go out and do harvesting. And then technically, there's the I can't remember what her name is. There's a halfling on the docks of Thundering Steps to again do some harvesting. Guild level 21. You will do rush reds, and you will like it, indeed. To be fair, rush reds on a duel are probably not too painful. Actually, I lie. Because a jeweler actually has quite a few things to make per level because of not just being jewelry but also being scout spells, combat arts. So when it picks 6 random things for you to make, it's potentially quite a long list. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, the rush rates aren't too bad, and we do actually have the new stuff for at level 40 to look forward to. So there's some new stuff out in Lava Storm, which was added as part of the last game update. So that might make those last 10 levels a little bit quicker. But I was going to say the 30 to 40 is a bit of a pain as well, because again, we don't have Steam font, which is where those quests usually are. So I think, again, the only thing we've got to do from 30 to 40 is rush orders and the Grandmaster's one quest, which is the Briarwood testing from Zek and Enchanted Lands, if I remember rightly. Just make a plate real quick here. Stack of coal day plates, 2 glowing coal. Get that done, and then leave the rest for another day. Oh, no, I'll bench that one. Oh, also, we don't have the daily transmuting, adorning, and tinkering quests to do, because we don't get those to EOF either. So those also are reasonably good XP from like what, level 1 to like level 90 or something. So we don't have those to do yet either. Hey up, laddie. Right, 14. And that will do for the crafting for today. I may do some more of that while drinking my coffee tomorrow morning. Do that off stream. Alright, that's going to be me done for today. Thank you guys very much for joining me. It's been another fun evening. It's a shame we didn't manage to find a group a little bit earlier than what we did. And it did fall apart a bit early as well, so that was one downside. But yes, I will be back on Sunday afternoon, I think. Should play some more EQ2 then. Hopefully we will find a nice early group and see if we can get our ass at least close to level 30 would be nice.